everybody. This is our video on our triad, our life together.
It's part 4 of our journey series that we've been doing. Crystal and I had a video together. Jamie and Crystal had a video together. Jamie and I had a video together. And now we're going to talk about our life since then, since kind of officially becoming a triad and coming out to the world and starting our life together. So in 2015, me and the girls and Jamie's mom and Jamie's sister and Jamie's nephew and our son Jameson took a trip to Hot Springs for 4th of July weekend. We had a very good friend that lived down there. He does not live down there any longer, but he had a boat, and of course Hot Springs is right next to 3 beautiful lakes, and he invited us down to spend the weekend with him.
So this trip is the first trip that I remember Joey introducing me as his girlfriend. So we were meeting some of Matt's friends that were going to be hanging out with us, and Joey, of course, says, "This is my wife Crystal, my girlfriend Jamie," and I just remember being like, because that was the first time that he had said the word girlfriend to others, and I wasn't 100% sure if Crystal, how she felt about it, and I mean, of course, I was like happy but scared at the same time.
But it was also the first time that I remember thinking like, I'm okay with that. Like, I thought it was just the first time I remember thinking, oh, I'm like totally okay with that. But then she's like, that's actually the first time that he said it. So I was like, well, okay.
Well, as far as like introduction to other people is what they mean. Like, we within
obviously we talked about it
right within
us.
Our home, within the 3 of us. Like we had discussed it and talked about it, and Crystal had been working towards acceptance of the whole situation, and I don't even remember why it came out. It just did. It just, it over time it kind of just felt natural and became second instinct, I guess.
Well, then after that, I think you would be like, "This is our girlfriend, Jamie," because I was still Crystal's girlfriend then.
You're my fiance.
Oh, okay. Well,
at that time, that was a few months, 2 or 3 months after I proposed to him.
Also in Hot Springs.
Yeah.
We love Hot Springs.
A lot of memorable moments in Hot Springs for the 3 of us.
Yeah.
But to touch on that, it just made me think. So, like a month before we went down there for the 4th of July, we had went to a car show. Is it in Indiana? Yeah, this Camp and Drive.
Yeah, Waveland, Indiana.
Okay,
it's
so
the best car show ever. I loved it.
We were on our way up there, and I remember we were listening to Polyamory podcasts and really trying to navigate what it was called and what we were, and it was kind of cool to sit in the truck and listen to these and be like, wow,
there's people like us. Yeah. Yeah, I think we talked about this on a couple of videos before, but we literally had no idea that this was even a thing. Even when we decided to give it a shot and make it our thing, we didn't know there were other people like this. Of course, we knew of polygamists, as we had all watched the show Sister Wives, and we knew of the Mormon religion and their beliefs, but it never came across any of our thoughts as a possibility, and we frankly had never heard of the terms polyamory or polyamorous.
Or triad.
Yeah, we didn't know it was a thing. And then it's funny that as we discovered it was a thing, it was everywhere. It's kind of like when you're looking for
no, it's like whenever you go get a car,
and
you're
you never see that
you've
car.
never seen it, and then after you get that car, you're like,
you see it everywhere.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is exactly like that, because it started popping up on our Facebook feeds, our Instagram stories and feeds.
There wasn't a lot of open triads at that point, so there wasn't a lot of you couldn't just go on there and look, hashtag triad, and a bunch of triads would pop up. It was mainly just these like what polyamory was, or little quotes about polyamory, or it wasn't.
And we started our Instagram that same July in 2015.
Yeah, and it was extremely overwhelming from the get-go. I remember it soaring. I mean, as soon as we started it, you know, we didn't really even like start liking, you know, anything accustomed to that or related to that, and it just started just growing and growing and growing. And we got messages from people, still do, but we got messages from people saying how brave we were, how much they appreciated us being so open because they couldn't do so, and it's a very humbling feeling, you know, because the three of us are able to live our lives the way we want to, and we don't care about judgment, we don't care about, you know, what other people think of us. But at the same time, it's saddening to us to know that so many people cannot live happily like we are because of worrying about what others think about them.
They should.
And we do believe that they can and they should, you know.
You feel a lot better. Like, even if you have family that's like unhappy with you and you lose friends, like, it is so freeing to
be yourself. And
yes.
It does prove a lot in the relationship too. It proves a lot. Like, I remember that our first holidays together, you know, they weren't spent with family. They were spent together because, I mean, my family did, but my family's not religious or don't celebrate holidays really. But, like, it was hard, you know, because their families weren't accepting. So if I couldn't go, they weren't going to go, you know. So we just had our own holiday for, like, I think the first year.
Yeah. To touch on that, things, as you guys have seen in the Meet the Parents video, have gotten just amazing and progressively better. And, you know, I would say they're where they should be today. I mean, we all have great relationships with our parents, and all of that is forgiven and forgotten. I mean, you know, life's too short to hold grudges against your family about stuff like that.
But I want to touch on something. So during that same summer, you know, I proposed to Jamie, and we talk about, like, oh, let's find a venue, and it had to, you know, accommodate certain requests. And I had a friend in Hot Springs that had her, what is it called? The party thing? Her reception at this place. So I'm like, hey, let's go down there and check it out. Go down there, check it out, it's perfect, put a deposit down, stay the night, come home. And so we're being told, like, from my mom and Joey's mom, like, hey, it's bad weather coming this way, you know. We're like, okay, they over worry a lot of times. So we head back, and the road that you take, like, does everybody know what a pig trail is?
No. But
it was
also,
very
you
windy.
forgot to mention that my mom and my sister were with us.
Yeah, they
That's
again separate trip. But yeah, her mom and sister were with us this time as well. But we were on a very windy, narrow 2-lane road in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by forest, national forest, and trees, and
very small towns.
Right, and we couldn't really see the sky for the most part because, you know, the tree line, you know, covers the sky. But yeah, we're getting all these warnings from, you know, my mother and Crystal's mother. They're super huge worriers.
But we're just like, nah. And then this car comes and flashes its lights at us
repeatedly.
So we just think, oh, cop ahead, slow down.
And we did.
Or a wreck or something, you know.
Yeah.
So we were like looking out for, you know, a traffic accident or, you know, cop on the side of the road catching speeders. And so we topped a hill, and I remember it started to hail really bad. And so we pulled off the road.
It was Crystal's brand new car. We only had it for, 2 weeks?
It was less than a month.
Yeah.
Not very long. So we pulled off the side of the road in this little, I don't know, like a rest area.
Yeah,
it had like some picnic tables,
yes.
And but it had these big pine trees that I tried to pull under so that the car wouldn't get beat up with hail.
There was another car pulled off there.
Yeah, and so anyways, we sat there for a few minutes, and it seemed to ease up a little bit. So we decided we'd take off because there was a town not very far away. Well,
oh, and also remember we thought there was a fire because it was
you
like
smelled something.
Yeah,
you could smell like wood.
Yeah,
but
Chris
it looked like it was
saying,
smoking.
Chris kept saying, "I smell wood.
Yeah.
I smell wood," and I'm like, "What the heck?" It was the trees snapping.
So we leave the little camping spot and we go down a hill probably another quarter mile, and we get like everybody's phones start getting the alert, like take cover now, you're in immediate danger. And so we pulled off the side of the road to there's like a little, like a culvert, which is a I don't know if a lot of people know it. Anyway, it's like a round, usually steel, sometimes they're plastic, but they go underneath the driveways and ditches to let water flow from one side to the other. Anyways, my plan was that if we had to, we could get in the culvert. So
I didn't know that. I wish I'd have known that then. That'd have made me feel a little safer.
Well, I'd have told you that if we'd have had to. But anyway, so we get out and
I am scared. I'm about ready to get out of the car and take off running because I'm like, why are we sitting here? So the freaking tornado can just get us.
So I've got the radar.
He had that wonderful plan.
I got the radar pulled up and we're watching it, and it is coming like so close to us. It's ridiculous. Well, Jamie's mom needed a cigarette. So she decided to get out.
And she's not phased at all. She's just like, oh, guys, whatever.
If it happens to me, it happens.
It's my time.
Blah, 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 And I'm just like, I am literally about to have a panic attack. And, like, I'm looking at my older sister like, you've got to save me right now. Like, save me. And she's just like, trying to calm me down. I'm like, oh, God. It was scary. I'll never forget it ever.
So we decided in our infinite wisdom, for some reason or another, that we were going to go back because it looked like the storm on my radar was the direction that we had been traveling. So we went back towards the rest stop, and as we topped the hill to the top of the rest stop, like, it was wiped out. The trees were all snapped and laid down. The telephone poles were, down, and
the tree we were under was down where we would have been.
Yeah, so we realized, at that moment that we had just narrowly escaped being right in the middle of a tornado somehow. So, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, months before our wedding.
But then we had the wedding.
Yeah.
Everything was great.
We made it
and
home,
we have that
planned
wonderful
wedding.
memory.
Yep.
And then
y'all saw the wedding. We posted the wedding. Wasn't the best quality. Back then we didn't have the best equipment.
That video did not do it justice.
No,
our wedding was beautiful. Most everything was handmade. It was like everything me and Crystal wanted, we did.
It was a very majestic scenery and setting. Like, had the walls were lined with lighting.
Yeah, we got like four sets of the twinkle lights.
Yeah, they were. It was super awesome.
It was
great
beautiful.
Experience.
The music was good. The food was good. We had barbecue.
We didn't touch our wedding cake that you had to have.
It was beautiful though. Who cares? Of course I had to have a wedding cake.
Oh my God.
Duh.
We had a whole candy table.
Who cares?
Yeah, it was.
We had to have it.
It was like in Adventure Time, where
cake
Princess Bubblegum lives. They had a candy that like reminded me of that.
It was rainbow themed too, so everything was rainbow. It was so.
No, wait. The candy table was rainbow themed.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong. The rest of the wedding wasn't.
Well, he was talking about the candy table, and I was saying it was rainbow themed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
No, our wedding colors were purple and teal and black and silver.
Yep.
Silver meaning mostly glitter. Everything was glittered. I remember we mostly glittered things on our back porch, and there was glitter all over. I mean, there still is glitter there. Not a lot, but remnants of it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we had a great time, and everybody that came said how much they enjoyed it. So we got that done and out of the way,
and then was it the next day?
Well, we stayed the night that night. We came home, and then we went to bed like it was a normal Saturday night or Sunday night, whatever it was, and
we woke up in the morning, and if you guys will go back in our videos, you'll see the video that we posted of us waking Jameson up and telling him we were taking him to Disney World. So we already had our bags packed and his bag packed, and he didn't even know it. And we get him up and brushing his teeth, and we tell him that, and then we go and we spend. How long do we spend down there?
4 or 5 days.
4 or 5
It
days.
was so much fun.
Oh, side note on the Disneyland thing. So, we get down to Disneyland. We had booked a room that was a king-size bed because we have always slept in the same bed. And so we booked a king-size bed, and then we have this, what was it, little
like a
pull-out thing
twin.
like a pull-out twin-size bed for Jameson. Perfect for the 4 of us. There's 3 of us sleep in, the same bed, and then he sleeps in his own. So we get down there, we show up, and they usher us to our room. We show up in our room, and we have 2 queen beds. Absolutely was not going to work for us, and for the amount of money that we spent at Disney World, I was not going to accept that.
No, it was not.
So I called down to the desk, and they told me that they had seen that we had 3 adults and 1 child, so they had took it upon themselves to change our reservations to a double queen room. And they also informed me that they could not give me a king-size room with a pull-out because they had sold them out.
And I thought they said it was a fire hazard or something. Is
Oh,
why they did
yeah.
it.
They tried to
so
say all kinds of
stupid.
stuff. So, after a brief meeting with the management of that facility, they quickly ushered us into a room that we actually booked and reserved. Because just like the Jerry Seinfeld episode, that is the point of a reservation.
And on top of that, they ended up giving us like free,
Fast pass.
Yeah.
fast passes
Where you get to cut lines.
and free
food-
meals,
Yeah, and
additional meals.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
free meals.
So we were late getting to Epcot. However, we got her straightened out.
Yeah, and we had lots of fun. And then tell
Super
about,
memorable trip.
Please tell about the car rental so I can tell about us getting in the airport.
Well, I actually really don't remember that part except for what I was wearing. So if you guys will tell the story about the car rental, I will end it with.
Here, I got it. Okay,
Okay.
so we rented a car for one day. It was our last day there because Jameson wanted to go to Legoland.
Oh yeah.
So we get this car, and somehow somebody mixed up where we were supposed to be dropping it off whenever it was clear that we were dropping it off at the airport.
You remember already late getting us.
Yeah,
Remember?
they were.
So we didn't have that much time at the Legoland.
Yeah. And then they wanted a certain kind of credit card or something to pay, and it was just
It
ridiculous.
doesn't make any sense.
So we get it, we go to Legoland. Don't do it. It's not good in Florida.
Don't go to Legoland. If you do go to Legoland before you go to Disney World because it'll just look like a crapshoot
Yeah.
compared.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. However, so we do that. We get to the hotel. We're taking our bags out. So we're like taking our bags up to the doors. And Joey's like, I'm going to go return the car keys. He goes up to return the car keys, and we're waiting. And then we see him.
Well, I was having a stern talk with them as well because they had made us extremely late and made our trip super brief that day, and it turned out to be a good day, in hindsight. But Jameson missed out on several hours. I mean, if not more.
Paid Legoland.
Yeah,
We had already paid for it. Everything was already paid for as far as the parks. So
Yeah,
couldn't,
all we had to
get
do
our
was
money
show
back.
up.
Yeah, we'd already paid for it.
We tried to show up as early as possible, but if it was it Enterprise or was it Hertz?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It was Hertz.
whoever it was,
It was
they
Hertz.
kept us at least 2, maybe 3 hours behind schedule that we could have spent at the park that we paid for. And I'm telling you, when you pay for 4 people, especially when 3 people don't really care for it, it's you're kind of like, eh. So I was a little upset about that. So as I'm having a talk with them, and they're straightening things out, and they had given us back some credit and stuff, and anyways, I was happy. They were satisfied. So as I walk away, the girls point out that I have my mouse ears on the whole time that I was talking to these people, and I'm really surprised that they took me seriously.
They were C-3PO.
Yeah, C-3PO mouse ears.
You know what? We will get you a picture because we still have all of our ears. We'll put them on. We'll have the whole family put them on and take a picture for you.
So we returned from Disney World, and man, what happened after that? So 2016 starts off. We started off fresh year. It's a new relationship still to all of us, and Jamie's still in beauty school. I'm still doing my job. Crystal's still doing her job. and we start living life like normal people. You know, we don't look at ourselves as being different. I mean, we look at ourselves as normal, you know, regular everyday people, you know, despite there being one extra adult in the relationship.
I think I'm going to stop you there because I think we covered a lot as far as the beginning of our relationship goes. And we're going to just kind of leave you hanging to come back for the second part of episode 4.
We'll call it Part B. Part A and Part B.
Part A, Part 2, whatever you want to say, I don't care.
And you want me to pick?
Yeah, you're the deciding factor. Is it episode 4, Part 1? Or is it episode 4, Part A?
Do you see how we settle shit when we have a
like
relationship?
One. Yeah, definitely one. Part 1.